Welcome to Nonfiction Reviews. Poverty in America is a book written by Matthew Desmond that offers an in-depth analysis of poverty in the United States. Desmond explores the various factors that contribute to poverty, including income inequality, lack of affordable housing, and inadequate social services. The book begins by outlining the history of poverty in the United States, from the New Deal to the War on Poverty. Desmond argues that while these efforts have reduced poverty rates, they have not been sufficient to eradicate poverty altogether. In fact, poverty rates have remained relatively stable over the past several decades, with about 10% of Americans living below the poverty line. Desmond then turns to the issue of income inequality, which he argues is the primary cause of poverty in the United States. He cites statistics showing that the top 1% of Americans hold more wealth than the bottom 90%. He argues that this concentration of wealth has been exacerbated by policies that favor the wealthy, such as tax cuts and deregulation. Another major factor contributing to poverty is the lack of affordable housing. Desmond describes the dire situation facing many low-income families, who are forced to spend a disproportionate amount of their income on housing. In some cases, families are unable to afford basic necessities like food and healthcare because they are paying such high rents. Desmond argues that the government needs to invest in affordable housing programs to address this problem. Desmond also examines the issue of inadequate social services, such as healthcare and childcare. He argues that these services are crucial for low-income families to be able to succeed and escape poverty. However, many families are unable to access these services due to high costs or lack of availability. Desmond argues that the government needs to invest in these services to ensure that all Americans have access to the support they need. Throughout the book, Desmond illustrates the impact of poverty on individual lives through a series of case studies. He tells the stories of families struggling to make ends meet, highlighting the barriers they face in accessing education, healthcare, and other essential services. He also examines the psychological toll that poverty takes on individuals, including stress, depression, and anxiety. Desmond concludes the book with a call to action, urging readers to take steps to address poverty in their own communities. He argues that it will take a collective effort to address poverty, including policy changes at the local, state, and federal levels, as well as individual efforts to support low-income families. Here are 5 takeaways from the book. 1. Poverty is not just about individuals making bad choices or not working hard enough. The book emphasizes that poverty is also the result of larger systemic issues, including lack of affordable housing, low wages, and a lack of social safety nets. Desmond argues that to truly address poverty, we need to focus on these larger structural issues, rather than solely on individual behavior. 2. The experience of poverty is different for different groups of people. Desmond's research shows that poverty disproportionately affects women, people of color, and people with disabilities. These groups face additional barriers and discrimination that make it even harder for them to escape poverty. 3. Evictions are a major contributor to the cycle of poverty. Desmond's research shows that eviction can have devastating consequences for families and individuals, including loss of employment, loss of community support, and even homelessness. He argues that policies that address the issue of eviction could go a long way in addressing poverty. 4. Poverty is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires a multifaceted approach. In addition to policies that address affordable housing and eviction, Desmond argues that we need policies that address issues such as healthcare, education, and criminal justice reform. These issues are all intertwined and contribute to the cycle of poverty. 5. Ultimately, addressing poverty requires a fundamental shift in the way we think about the issue. Desmond argues that we need to move away from a mindset that blames individuals for their poverty and instead focus on systemic issues that contribute to poverty. He argues that this shift in thinking is necessary to truly address the issue of poverty in America. Overall, Poverty in America provides a comprehensive analysis of the factors contributing to poverty in the United States. Through a combination of statistical analysis and personal narratives, Desmond paints a vivid picture of the challenges facing low-income families in America. The book is a powerful call to action, urging readers to take steps to address poverty in their own communities and support policies that promote economic justice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content on nonfiction. Let us know in the comments what other nonfiction books you like to see on our channel.